Hello guys, just imagine in Chechnya, which was forced to stay inside the Russian Federation after two very brutal, very violent Chechen wars, they have an institution where they train Russian special forces, and this institution is named after, of course, Vladimir Putin. Disgusting, right? But what is beautiful, tonight, for the first time in history, Ukrainian drones have paid a demilitarization visit to this special forces preparation base. And it was a beautiful message with loud explosions sent both to the special forces of the Russian army, to the people of Chechnya, and to their non-charismatic leader Ramzan Kadyrov. He was furious, taking into account that since recently he has a lot of problems inside Chechnya, and even one Russian military was neutralized during an unpredictable attack on a Russian military guard. So something is definitely brewing in this very rebellious republic, and I agree with many who say that instability in Chechnya always means instability in Russia. Subscribe to see more. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Russia defeated, join the community of the channel and please share the videos on your social media platforms, because unfortunately we still have too many Russian narratives which are toxic and which are fake. So just recently we have spoken about Chechnya, a republic that wanted to proclaim its independence. There were two Chechen wars in the 90s. The first one was actually won by the people of Chechnya, who are very different from the classical understanding of the people who share Ruski Mir values. And for the second time, when Putin came to power, the war was more violent, lots of civilians were killed, and since then this republic is under firm and direct control from the Kremlin. Ramzan Kadyrov, its puppet leader, the head of the TikTok army, the most absurd person you can find in the politics. By the way, let me know in the comments below, would you like a separate video on the biography of this character? I'm trying to be positive for the YouTube. So anyway, since 2007 or 2008, he is the ruler of Chechnya. Chechnya is the country that suffers greatly from corruption, from problems with human rights and many things. But they were building the image of the very obedient to Putin, the master republic, and they were creating the image of the Russian army as something strong, backed up by Kadyrov soldiers. But it is all fake, and we all seen Kadyrov soldiers escaping first from Ukraine and then from Kursk region. Actually, they were responsible for the control of the borders of this region of the Russian Federation that are now open to anyone willing to visit Kursk. So anyway, tonight Ukrainian drones have reached Chechnya, which is cool because Chechnya is 1,000 kilometers away from the territories that we control right now. So this was a long way, and no, nobody stopped brave Ukrainian angry birds. And they have landed on the roof of this preparatory center for the Russian special forces in the city of Gudermes. So you see, our Russian geography lessons extend to Russian Federation geography lessons. And hopefully more and more people in this People's Republic of the Russian Federation realize that they don't have to pay for the sins of Putin, for the sins of Moscow. They can actually live their own independent life, getting money from their natural resources, not sending them to the oligarchs of Moscow. And we have a video about the dissolution of Russia on the channel. Check it if you want to know more and why we should not be afraid of that. And of course, subscribe to the channel to discuss this process in detail with a person who witnessed the collapse of the USSR. Yes, I'm an adult. Well, I cannot tell you that I remember much, but I definitely remember the inspiration and happiness we all had when I went to the first form at school in the independent Ukraine of 1991. But let's return back to this special forces institution in the city of Gudermes in Chechnya that was targeted by Ukrainian drones early in the morning. Traditionally, no harm to people at all, because we care about people, even if they are special forces of the Russian army. But the message is very clear. Ukrainian drones reached it. Ukrainian drones landed and explode, sending the message of vulnerability to all those who are still afraid of Russia and its most fierce Kadyrov troops. What is also very interesting, that the institution itself was named after Vladimir Putin in 2024. Perhaps Kadyrov wants to stay at power, and that's the way he demonstrates his loyalty. And also, I think it is a part of the policy to control such rebellious republics too, because Chechnya tried to become independent, and actually in 93, 94, it won the first Chechen War. That was conducted by Yeltsin, and many of you actually speak about Yeltsin period as the democratic one. No, that was the start of the Chechen War. And then the Second Chechen War resulted in this total control of this republic, Caucasian Republic, very different from the rest of classic Ruski Mir territories with totally different cultural heritage, identity, religion, language, and so on. So it definitely has the potential, and perhaps that is another reason why Putin and Core try to develop the network of such institutions. It was launched in Gudermes in 2013. But lots of these symptoms that something is brewing in Chechnya are very vivid recently. We have a video about the attack on a Russian military truck, on Russian National Guard, if I'm not mistaken, convoy in Chechnya near Grozny. I will connect this video so you can remind yourselves. We have Kadyrov that is not able to control his army, that escaped from the borders in Kursk. We have lots of hatred towards Kadyrov soldiers in Russia, because when they come to protect these people in Kursk, let's say Suja, they actually treat Russians very bad. And there are lots of cases when Russians report the locations of Kadyrov soldiers to Ukrainian troops to actually save themselves from Kadyrov's, I don't know what is the kind word for you two, but you can guess what I mean. And also he had a very serious fight with a number of Russian deputies and Russian billionaire from Dagestan, another republic that borders with Chechnya, and Putin does not like it at all. And by quarrels, I mean literally something back from the 90s with shooting, with 2 bodyguards killed. And it's Russia, and Russia is a mafia state. I know many of you are afraid of people like Kadyrov, and this is the reason, one of the arguments that many repeat, that if Russia collapses and such people as Kadyrov will control nuclear weapons, this will be a danger, an escalation, and so on. My dear friends, if Putin, or when Putin is gone, Kadyrov is also gone, and Lukashenko is gone. We can actually destroy North Korea if we support Ukraine enough. So you don't have to imagine that if we don't have Putin in Russia, all the others remain on their positions. The majority of leaders in these republics are now fed from Putin's hand. These are totally dependent on him. Puppets, not puppies. Puppies are cute, I'm sorry. But just like Lukashenko, the moment Putin is gone, people of Belarus will vote on open and democratic elections, of course, if we help them. So by defeating Moscow, by defeating Putin, we will actually multiply this liberation potential. We can actually make lots of countries choose a democratic way of development. And on contrary, if we close our eyes on the crimes of the authoritarian regimes, we actually help more and more of this evil grow around us. Please share these messages among those who doubt, make correct choices, and of course vote on your elections, be it in Georgia or the United States. It is very important to take control of our own countries and our own futures. People in Russia, in Belarus, in North Korea don't have this privilege. Remember to follow me on X, Threads, Discord, and Instagram. I share more of my everyday life there. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Do check our merch shop. There are lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. But most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!